let me get my camera adjusted. It started the live where I was actually set for having the camera in the right place. Is it gonna stay put? Nope. I gotta get this locked in. And then I gotta get the other live stream going on Twitch. Let me adjust this just a little more. Alright. There's that. And this gives people more time to come on in. Who's joining us? We have a coattail mock-up of a different coat, and then the fabric that will be mocked up for Jareth. Who wants to join us? Getting Twitch signed in. Hang on. Everybody coming in? Should have done this. I keep having that problem. Twitch takes forever to load. I can show you some materials we got while we're waiting. We've got this fabric. He's got black lace across his shoulders to sew on all the beads and shinies. And it's very spiderwebby, so I actually thrifted a fabric spiderweb tablecloth during spooky season. Alright, we're getting somewhere with Twitch. Give some people some more time to roll on in. Okie dokie. Don't need that either. Who's ready? Let's see about other materials while that loads. I did get other laces as well to mishmash with the spiders, because he has a wide variety of textures throughout the lace on his shoulders and on the cuffs. I also have basic black sheer curtains. And the base fabric for this whole thing. Oh, it just wants to unravel. Here we go. Shiny blue. Very noisy. But I have a feeling his costume was quite noisy back in the day, too. I also need to test and see if I can iron this stuff. Because I have a feeling if I iron it, I'm going to get the crinkles out, and I don't want to do that. I want as much texture in this as I can. supplies. Oh, that's really dark. I was hoping I wouldn't need the ring light, because then I have to put my camera on a different tripod. But it looks like we need the ring light. And then I'm going to have to put my camera on the annoying tripod. And would help if I turned it on. There we go. And almost there. Okay. Is that enough light? I have my blinds open, my overhead going, and a ring light. Hopefully that's enough light. Got all these freaking pop-ups, I can't even get to work on a project. Okay. Things are loading, finally. We can start streaming. Okay, we are streaming on all the things now, I think. And we've given some people some time to roll in. I'm mostly going to be paying attention to the chat on YouTube, so I'm not switching squeens. I'm going to be switching squeens. Okay. First business here is to get the mock-up situated. I need my mock-up fabric laid out. And I'm going to fold this in half. I did iron it last time, but that was last time and this is now. I won't worry about it too much. This is just mock-up fabric. A little hard to fold in half when it's a wonky shape. Why is this bunching up so badly? Okay, this is not working. I gotta fold it a different direction here, because it is a wonky shape. Isn't this the most riveting content? Playing with bed sheets with Rev. Okay. That looks a bit better. See if I can get this folded in half. Folding it in half is supposed to be making it easier. Not at the moment. I cut out such a weird shape from it last time. I gotta pull this forward so the right pieces will meet up. Oh my gosh, my ring light makes it so warm. Okay. And try to get all these puckers out of here with it being really weirdly shaped. Come on, get out of there. No more puckers. What is with this one massive pucker? Come here. Alrighty, we can finally get somewhere, hopefully. Hopefully I've folded this enough to have this guy laid out. I love that this material is such a different color from this material, even though they're both white. Then I can actually see what I'm doing. Alright, fold this thing in half now. Probably less of a chore. It was pretty easy last time I vlogged. How are we doing on this live stream? Cool beans. We've got peoples in today. Hello, peoples. I know it's not as interesting to watch when I'm at the very beginning of a project, but that's where we're at right now. And I think I will put some pins in this so it doesn't come unfolded while I'm tracing it. Oh, let's get my fun pin cushion. say hello to Bob. Now the neckline on Sigma's coat is actually a little too high compared to Jareth's, because his opens wide for the ruffles to come down the front. But I'm going to leave that neckline as is for now, because you can always cut away stuff and it's a lot harder to add things. Okie dokie. Let's get this cut out. I'll move it back into frame in a sec here. I just realized I'm kind of off camera, but with how this fabric is folded, I don't want to fight with it anymore. Where's the edge of my fabric? Here somewhere. I'll scooch you down just a smidge. Now my first order of business, I wonder if I can pull y'all further forward just a smidge so that you can see what I'm doing. Very gently. Otherwise my whole setup's gonna fall apart. Let's see if you can all see what I'm doing. Not really. Alright, come forward just a little bit more. Come with me. Come with me now. Whoa, go with me now. That's better. I think you can see it now. One of the main things I need to do is there was not enough room in my back when I wore the Sigma coat, so I'm going to add about a ½ inch here. That way there's a full inch in my back when I cut this out. I also wanted to make the armholes a little bigger. I'll have to fix that though once I get this cut out. Also, this needs to come, this is where the coat edge meets the button of the pants. It needs to come down a little lower so that when I raise my arms it doesn't completely pull away from the rest of the costume. This is going to be a smooth curve into the coattails, and the coattails need to be curved as well. A lot of this will be fiddling with it once I get it cut out. But I do need to add a flap to the collar for folding outwards. So I might take the neckline in slightly once I've traced this so that I can add that flap. A ruler. Alright, let's check for if this is a ½ inch. That is a whole inch. That is going to be a little too much. I also need to add distance on this by about an inch so it'll fit my boobs. Because Sigma I had to bind to be able to fit into it. scoot you back just a little bit more. Squish. Half inch. Half inch. Half inch. Cool. Okay. I was about to grab a heat erase pen, but it doesn't matter because this is the mock-up, so we're using Crayola. Alright. We're gonna mark some corners so I don't lose where I am. And this collar will need to come down a little lower to add the high evil villain collar situation Jareth has got. But that is something else that I will adjust once I have this mock-up cut out. Alright, now this ruler needs to go out a half inch as well, so that I have a full inch, extra inch in the front. And then this is a straight line. It probably needs to be cut away a little more, but we'll get there. And I'm gonna make this a little bigger, give it a little more, because again, it's a lot easier to cut away stuff than add. Alright, there's that part. Now I need to take this collar in slightly, this V-neck in slightly, and add the flappy corner up here. Can you see that now? Yeah, cool. This is such a big piece. I gotta keep moving the camera around. Where is the coat I wanted to mimic? I will try this one. I have a whole bunch of blazers. This one even has shoulder pads. Look at that. And this one's not nearly big enough, but it'll give me a guide on where I am putting this. And I need a restroom break, so I will be right back. You can look at the pretty blue fabric while I'm gone. BRB. Alrighty, I have returned. Let's see how this folds. If it is in jacket form, we've got a collar that folds like this. Line that up here. Shoulder seam. Oh, I do want to take this in a little. Have this come down lower. And scoop out a little further. Oh, you can't quite see it. Dang. We got really close. Come on. Can we see it now? Yes. Okay. Once I get to beating this thing, it'll be a lot easier to film it. I can just be on my desk. Okay. And then line all the things up, lay out the flap. And the flap on his is a slightly different shape, so I'm going to start tweaking that now while I'm here. Because he has a much longer, larger, more accentuated, and even if I don't get the shape right the first time, I will at least have a flap to add fabric onto when I've cut it out, to get it the right shape eventually. I think it needs to be a little bigger. Scoop. And point. Pointy. Bring that down a little more. Okay. See about cutting this out and see where it fits me, what needs to be adjusted, all that good stuff. Put you back where you came from, or so help me. No, you don't. Come back over here. My tripod likes to swing around on me. Alright, are we good? Are we done moving? Move it out. And cut. Firstly, I should probably actually get some of this on my vlogging camera. Get a little of this filmed first before I cut it out. And get a camera on a tripod. And get some things cut out. the scissors. There they are. Oh, the neighbor's dog is crying. Don't know if you all can hear that. They must have left him alone. He's not happy. Alright. Well, you're sitting on the rest of the fabric. I gotta get it out from under y'all. Come on. Let go. Now I gotta see if this thing fits me. And what adjustments I need to make. I will not be changing the camera for that. So just hang on. Takes forever to get this set up right. I don't want to fiddle with it. I had pins out. Where are the pins? There's Bob. I gotta pin the shoulders in the right place so we can hang out down here for a little bit. Shoulder to shoulder. And shoulder to shoulder. I really gotta work on getting these shoulders the same size. But that's not a huge problem right now. Alright, let's check the fit. Oh, forgot to cut out the armholes a little more. Definitely need to make the armholes bigger. It fits just okay now with the armholes, but it definitely needs an adjustment. What else do we have here? Ooh, I got the collar flap in a pretty good place. Nice. The length here is a little too long. Comes way past my ankles. I gotta double check the shape on the neckline, but I feel like we're close. I also need to adjust the spot where the coat meets up with the button on the pants. But I do have a decent shape for this coat. So I'm going to put a couple marks on it and bring it back down to the floor with y'all. It looks like I probably need to take about 3 inches off of the bottom, maybe more. And the coattails start right at the hip dips, so I've marked my hip dips as well. Alrighty. Back on the floor you go. We're gonna unpin the shoulders so we can get to getting. Firstly, let's make those armholes bigger. Because I need to make the armholes bigger, because once I get that thick blue fabric cut out in this, I'm definitely going to need more room. Right in here. As well as I'm going to be putting a black satin lining in there. So I got to cut away some excess. Open this up a smidgy. Again, this is an alteration that helps get my chest to fit in the costume, because it pulls really tight on my armpits if I do not have this a little more open. There we go. Oop, how did we get a chunk like that? That looks weird. Hang on. My scissors would catch it. Come on. There we go. I can show you guys my scrap bag. This is fabric left over from making Hootie and scissor hands and Heisenflay. Okay, armpits adjusted. Now I gotta get the cummerbund kind of area cut out here. That's where the hip dips sit. And this is where the cummerbund should meet the coat. This freaking fabric. Hopefully it'll be easier to fold the blue fabric in half compared to this very wispy bed sheet. Get out of there. Okay. Let's get Sigma's coat to have a little reference. Ew. I forgot there were pins in it. Huh. When I marked it out on myself, the cummerbund hits here, but Sigma's is here, and Sigma's sat a little low. That's interesting. Okay, I'll cut it out based on Sigma's then. I can definitely base the length from Sigma's, because Sigma was just ever so slightly too long. So if I cut it out like that now, it will, the hem will cause it to be just short enough. And then where are the hip dips? That far in. I don't believe you, Mr. Sigma. So I am going to line everything up with this mark here. And then get the coattail the right length. And then I can mark it out with my marker. That is the right shape. Because everything else seemed to be hitting in the right place. Let's see. Okay. Cut that out and try it on again. Alrighty, connecting the shoulders again. To try this thing on. Shoulders. I still need to figure out what I'm going to do about the sleeves. I don't have a sleeve for this pattern because Sigma has a long sleeve shirt under his sleeveless jacket, but Jareth has some epic sleeves, so I'll have to figure that out in a bit. Let's see how this fits. Ooh, it's still just a little too long. And I do need to bring the cummerbund piece up to that height that I had marked. It just did not make sense. Let's see. I gotta double check what the overlap on the coat looks like, because I have about 2 inches of overlap, and I might need a little less. Because I believe his coat comes together at hook and eyes right at the belly button. But we're getting really close to a good fit for me. So bring up the cummerbund piece and the length, just ever so slightly on both. Let's see, what time is it? Well, funny enough, I need another restroom break. There's something up this morning. But I will lay this out. Get the pins out of there so I don't end up stepping on stabbies. And pull out the pretty blue fabric again. I will be right back. Restroom break. Okay, let's keep going. I am going to leave the cummerbund piece a little longer than what I marked because this fabric has more stretch than the two fabrics I will be using to make the coat. And I don't want that stretch to cause things to go too short. Again, I can always cut away excess, but it's really hard to add. Oh my gosh, this fabric. Yeah, I am very glad I'm almost done with using up that fabric for mock-ups, because I thought it would be good for mock-ups. Not so much now. It's so flowy and wispy and uncooperative. Okay. This looked like it was at the right spot. But I do need to cut away this. And it's like a straight line on his. But they did actually attach the tails separately on his coat. I am not doing that. I want it to be all one piece. And then make it just slightly shorter on the bottom. I actually need to double check the length on his coattails here. How far down do they actually go? Let's look at a picture, shall we? Getting the pictures. I have reference images all pulled together on a slideshow. If it'll load. Yeah, that's not what we're looking at. Come on. I'm working on putting a video out explaining my reference pictures in slideshow. If it'll load. Okay, here we go. I took a bunch of images from the museum to get good references, because the movie you don't see a whole lot of him. It focuses a lot more on her dress. Oh yeah, the coattails come up quite a bit further. So I can cut off more. Also, you can see that there's white lining to his coattails there. I'm actually going to do black, because that's the material I have. Although for the dance sequence, I can understand why they did white, because then you can more easily see his legs around the white with him wearing black pants. But I am going to cut off a little bit more of his coattails to get it up more mid-shin. And now I have As the World Falls Down playing in my head, because I can't look at these photos without it going off. I can always change the lining on his coat if I end up not liking the black satin. Okay, we're gonna reattach the shoulders and see how this fits. If it's in good shape, then we can start cutting it out of the actual material. Oh, I need to look at the neckline too when I get this fitted, because now I have my reference photos. And I can also see what kind of overlap he has at the center bust. Let us see. Okay. The overlap at the center bust really isn't a whole lot. Like I said, it's probably hook and eye right at where it meets. And I did a pretty good job on the lapels. They might have to be adjusted just slightly. I do need to shorten the coattails again. Let's look at that collar. How the heck? I get the collar points like just right by eyeballing it. Nice. I do need to take in the overlap at the belly button, and I need to take up the coattails a little bit more. But it's good to go little by little with these kind of things instead of taking too much off. Alrighty then. Say hello to Bob again. And we fold you in half. We are almost done with this mock-up. I do need to mock up the sleeves, but sleeves are a little easier to figure out for me. I probably will get the sleeves from that blazer I was using for his collar. Okay. Everybody stop bunching up. Okay, it will be so much nicer when I have this cut out in the black satin. The black satin I have, I know, does not fight with me like this because I used it on my scissor hands skirt, and it was much more cooperative. But that's what happens when you get $5 king size sheets, bed sheets at thrift stores to use for mock-up. Sometimes the material just is not what you were going for. Okay, what I was talking about for alterations is right at the belly button here. This overlaps a little too much. I don't want to cut away too much more though, because I need to be able to hem it. So we're gonna just take a sliver here. And angle it up towards the collar, because the collar is already the perfect size and shape. So we don't want to mess with that. And then make the coattails a little shorter again. Oh, you still can't see the end of the coattail. Come on. Can you see it now? Wow, this thing is long. I'm only 5 feet tall. It should not take that much oomph to get to the end of the coattails. There we go. I'm probably going to have to bring that up a little more. Because the lowest point does hit, like, right at his ankles. Let's try that. Oop. what am I doing? I'm not awake enough. Wow, okay. Shoulders. Not opposing shoulders, matching shoulders. I still got As the World Falls Down playing in my head. It's so hard not to sing it aloud. Alright. How does this fit me now? I think I'll leave the coattails where they are so that I have hemming room and the overlap towards the belly button looks like it's in a good spot. And let's double check the reference photo for that collar. Hang on, I'm being attacked by all my art supplies. Rulers are jumping off and markers are running away. I mean, honestly, that little overlap he has right here, let's see if I can get you in frame, isn't that big. There's only a little bit, so that's part of the reason why the collar flaps are so big. But also, I need to bring up my cummerbund meet-up spot on the coat. Just a little bit more. And then I will say that that should be in the right place for me to cut everything out. Out of the blue and black fabric. Yeah. There's my blue mark. So I'm going to cut it up to where I'd originally marked, since that piece is so small. Because this folds out pretty far. Folds out about here. And he needs just a little bit more height right there. Try that one more time. Oh, this fabric is so wispy, it keeps folding in on itself when I try to put it on. Stop folding in on yourself. Let me test fit this. Ow. Pokey pins. Okay. We are going to call that good and cut this out of our main fabrics. And knock over the vlogging camera. Nice. hopefully she's okay. Yeah, that squeaking is the tripod that I absolutely despise that I have the vlogging camera on right now. Because I'm using the rest of my good tripods for the live stream. Firstly, I actually want to test if I can iron that blue fabric. Plug it in the iron. Get it warming up. Definitely need to turn down the heat though. I'm going to put it on a silk setting. Ow! There's still pins in that. I'm so bad about that. Ah, look, another pin. Okay, that's the mock-up we want. And we have the blue fabric. And I need my ironing fabric. Which I do not see. Where? I have an ironing towel because this carpet I am working on is so cheap that it melts if I iron anywhere too close to it. And now I can't find my ironing towel. Not cool. Let me grab something else for that iron. My ironing towel probably went downstairs. We'll make do with this towel for now. It's not like I'm trying to iron a big piece of anything. I'm just testing a corner here to see if ironing this gets rid of all the fun texture. Let's see. Vlogging camera. Need the vlogging camera for this one as well. Huh. It looks like a lot of the texture still stays in as long as I'm on silk setting. Probably if I turned it up and hotter, it would take out the texture. Because it is taking it out a little bit, but it's not bad. Cool. Now I know. Just don't turn up the heat too much. Alright. We got the blue. I need to find my black satin. Let's go ahead and get the blue cut out while we're here. This, hang on, I'm going to get it laid out first because it's a very noisy fabric. Well, I definitely need to work around where the tape is. I'm not even going to take it off so I can actually see it more easily. Hello, Bob. You gotta unravel this. There's a lot. I'm gonna have some stuff left over to be able to make other things. Because there's no way that the Jareth coat is gonna use all of this. I love this fabric. It's so pretty. I gotta figure out which is right sides and which is wrong sides, though. Or at least what will constitute as right sides and wrong sides for the Jareth coat. Because I've flipped fabrics before. Definitely did it on Fizzarelli. Hang on, I'm trying to get the vlogging camera set up again. Now this blue fabric, I thrifted it. Hang on. This blue fabric, oh my gosh, look at all the fuzzies. The blue fabric picks up fuzzies like crazy apparently, even though it's not. I think it's static, not the texture of the fabric. But this blue fabric I thrifted years ago thinking I would make an Alice in Wonderland themed dress, and then I realized it was perfect for Jareth, so it has been put away in my stash until I was ready to do Jareth. And if anyone knows what this fabric is called, please let me know, because I have seen this type of fabric all over the place and I still haven't seen the name for it. I know Prickly Alpaca had some on her channel when she went through her stash, and she had a purple version. Very Sleeping Beauty-esque, with it shimmering between pink and blue. I managed to thrift this bright blue version for our Goblin King. Lord and Savior Goblin King. And I think I need to pin this, since this wispy fabric does not like to cooperate. I also will make the shoulders a little bigger on this side so that they actually mostly match, and then I can adjust the size on this side. Okay. And this fabric is only like just wide enough for me to do this with. Luckily, I am a small human being. I am hobbit sized. I might just be a hobbit, who knows? Would love to hide in the ground with a little library and never come out. You know I'm adjusting the fabric because you can hear it. It's such a noisy fabric. Hopefully once it's in coat form and I have it lined with the black satin, it'll be less audible. Okay. Let's cut this thing out. Scissors, there we go. I am gonna actually, ooh, I need to move this down before I can cut it out. Because I gotta make those shoulders a little bigger. And there's not enough room there with that. For shoulders. Scoochy, scoochy. Yeah. Okay, try that again. Can cut this out now. Okay, make the shoulders all there. Oop, come back here. Don't you do that. We're not done with you yet. And if you notice, I'm adding just the tiniest 1/4 inch edge to everything so that I have a little wiggle room for hemming and any adjustments. Even though I probably have enough of this fabric that I could make a second coat, but I'd rather make a different project with what remains of this fabric. Okay. We have, oh, we don't because the vlogging camera's sitting on top of it. We have the blue cutout. Oh, that's so pretty. I think this is the right side and this is the wrong side, I think, because this has a little less of a shimmer than this does, and it's a darker blue on this side and catches the light differently. Let me, yeah, I need to adjust the shoulders on this side, bring this in more with the armpit so that it matches this one, but I'm not going to worry about it right now because I just want to see if the rest of the coat fits. let's just see if this fits. It's not fraying like crazy like I thought it would, which is really nice. With all the light glare, it's kind of hard to see what's going on with this fabric. All the light is reflecting off of it like crazy. I will likely have to take the overlap in just a little bit more, but I also plan to put an elastic in the back at the lower back center of the coat so that I have a defined waist, but it can move and adjust with me. So I might not even deal with that overlap until I get that elastic in there and know what's going on with that elastic back there. But it's already looking like his coat when it's now in the blue, so that is lovely. And we can cut it out of the black. The question is, where did I leave the black? Because I used it as a chair cover backdrop thing a while back. And that's not it. That's the wrong one, but that's something similar. This is a fitted bed sheet. The black satin I want to use is also a fitted bed sheet, but I gotta find it. I don't know if I have it up here. Thought I did. I try to bring all of my supplies up and put it in this box for current projects. And it was in here, but when I used it as a backdrop, I might have sent the black satin back downstairs in my bin of backdrops. So I gotta dig through my little collection of backdrops in this corner over here. And if it's not over here, I gotta go downstairs and retrieve it. That's a nice chunk of scrap fabric that was laying with the backdrops. That scrap fabric's left over from making Captain Jack Sparrow bandanas. Well, since I don't know where that black satin fabric is at the moment, I'm going to call this vlog done for now. Thank you for everyone who joined in on the live stream. I greatly appreciate it. We do have the blue base for the coat now. It's looking pretty cool. And hopefully tomorrow I can live stream again and show y'all how I got the black cut out, probably get some sleeves done, and hopefully get everything lined. We shall see how tomorrow goes. Thank you for joining me on this live stream, and welcome to the madness.